Continuing to take a look at every single conference tournament in college basketball, this time the Patriot League. If you guys are college basketball fans excited for March Madness, make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any of my conference tournament previews, as well as the rest of the content I'll be putting out throughout March. First up, number 8 Army versus number 9 Holy Cross. This will not be a fun game to watch. These teams are both pretty bad, two offenses that struggle to score, and Holy Cross might have the worst defense of any team in the country. They specifically struggle to guard the 3, and Army takes a healthy amount of 3s. I think this one will be close, but not in a fun way. Army swept the season series, and Holy Cross's defense is just too big of a red flag for me to pick them. I'm rolling with Army. Next up, number 7 Navy versus number 10 Loyola Maryland. These teams split the season series, and once again, neither of these teams are very good. But Navy's playing significantly better right now. They enter this tournament on a 4-game win streak, and they also have a big-time advantage in the turnover department. They're way better at forcing turnovers. They're way better at taking care of the ball. For that reason, midshipmen. Quarterfinals, number 1 Colgate against number 8 Army. Colgate's just a way better team on both ends of the floor. They swept the season series, won the first game by 8, won the second one by 19 at home. They get to host this one. Army likes to take a good amount of 3s, but Colgate has a very good 3-point defense. I think Army has a better chance of pulling off an upset here than Holy Cross does, but I still think Colgate rolls. Next up, number 4 American versus number 5 Bucknell. Neither team has been playing particularly well entering this tournament. They've each been pretty streaky over the past month. American swept the season series, and they get to host this game. Plus, I'm just not that high on Bucknell, especially offensively. The numbers just haven't been there, and I think they're pretty questionable from a process standpoint. Over the past month, Bucknell has attempted 3s at the 9th highest rate in the country and have converted at the 284th best clip. So, concerning gap there. As you can imagine, shot quality is not a huge fan of this Bucknell team. I think Jack Forrest is a good player, but on the whole, I just don't think Bucknell is going to do much. I'm taking American. Number 3 Lafayette versus number 6 Lehigh. Lafayette somehow still wound up with the 3 seed despite dropping 6 of their last 7 games entering this tournament. Lehigh swept the season series. One of those games did go to double overtime, so I think there's a good chance this winds up being a close game. And in that scenario, I trust Lehigh a lot more. Not only are they playing better right now, they're a really good defensive rebounding team, so they're going to limit second chance opportunities, and they're very good at keeping opponents off the free throw line, while Lafayette is not. And in close games, that kind of thing matters. Give me Lehigh. Last quarterfinal matchup, number 2 Boston versus number 7 Navy. Each team playing pretty well right now. Boston's won 7-9. Navy at this point will have won 5 straight. They split the season series. I definitely think Navy's competitive in this game. I think Navy sophomore guard Austin Benini will be the best player in this matchup. Each team is better defensively than they are offensively. Ultimately, I like Boston to get the win at home. Navy hasn't been very good on the road this year, just 3-12 on the road. Give me Boston. Semifinals, number 1 Colgate versus number 4 American. American did hand Colgate one of their 2 conference losses this year, but I think Colgate just outclasses them, especially defensively. I'm taking the Raiders to move on. Second semifinal, number 6 Lehigh versus number 2 Boston. Boston swept the season series. The first game was a 1-point win. The second one was a 2-point win in overtime. Even though it's the 2 versus the 6, these teams were a game apart in the league standings. I think this one's going to be close. And I'm going to take Lehigh. I like their team a little more. I think they're more talented than Boston. And I think they're due to get one over on the Terriers. I'm taking Lehigh. For the Patriot League Championship and the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, I've got number 1 Colgate taking on number 6 Lehigh. I'm not saying Lehigh doesn't have a fighting chance in this game. They lost twice to Colgate this year, but each one was only by 3 points. They can definitely keep this one within striking distance. But at the end of the day, I think Colgate's the class of this conference. I think the Patriot League runs through Hamilton, New York. I'm taking Colgate. So those are my picks. I've got Colgate taking home the Patriot League Championship. I just think the Raiders are head and shoulders above the rest of the conference. They finished 6 games ahead of the next closest team in league play. If I had to pick a sleeper, I guess it would be Lehigh, but I really do think it's Colgate far and away. Let me know what your picks are, and make sure you're following for more college basketball content.